How sad and tragic is it that little girls, when they're growing up, are very likely still at a very, very young age going to be sat down by a parent and told, if someone takes you, fight, never go to a second location, do not walk with headphones in, do not get distracted, and if they do take you, leave some trace of DNA so you can help your case. It is such a heavy thought that from the time that we are so young, we have to be taught to be aware of the people around us, because the possibility of us encountering someone that might want to bring harm to us is a real thought. But what if that person turns out to be a person in your own family? What if the person that makes you question everything you have ever known is your own father? I want to talk about Michaela Renee Settles. Her cousin has made so many videos of her on here. I'll tag her in the comments seeking justice. So I really encourage you guys to go over to her page and listen to everything that she has to say. Michaela Renee Settles had just turned 18. She had just graduated high school in North Carolina, and she had a plan. She wanted to move to California. She had always wanted to end up in California, and after high school, making the move and moving in with her biological father, Stephen Vincent Chavez, with plans to attend college and build a new life, it seemed like the best idea. Moorpark College specifically is where Michaela wanted to go to school. Her father had promised to pay for her school, pay for her tuition while she lived with him, and everything felt like Michaela was on track to making all of her dreams come true. Family members had plans to spend time with her in California to ease the transition. They were excited for her. She was excited, but 2 days wouldn't even go by before Michaela's life changed forever. On July 21st of 2025, Michaela called her mother in distress, urgently asking to be picked up. Her mother didn't even need to know the details to know that something was wrong. Quote, it was just the fear in her voice, her crying. I didn't need details. I knew something was wrong, and I said, I'm on my way, end quote. She rushed over to Michaela's father's house, and the state she found her daughter in broke her. Michaela could barely move. She couldn't even walk. Put aside how distressed she was emotionally and psychologically for a second. Physically, she was in so much pain. Her uncle had to carry her because she couldn't walk without assistance, and him, along with her mom, rushed her to the ER, where once again her uncle had to pick her up and carry her inside. When she got to the hospital, she was given a gown to change into, and within minutes it was covered in red in the front, in the back. At the hospital, Michaela told authorities what happened, what she had just told her mother happened right before she picked her up. That night, her father, Stephen Vincent Chavez, had not only given her drinks with the purpose of getting her drunk, but he had taken advantage of her, violated her for 4 hours. His DNA was found inside of her. When she asked him to stop because she was in so much pain, he laughed to her face, looked at her, and told her, quote, well, you know what that means, end quote. Once at the hospital, police officers and investigators were called, a kit was done, medical records were filed, and a police report was started. Authorities then also began the process of getting Michaela into a safe house. That same night, Stephen was arrested, and at first, his bond was set at $500,000, but then somehow and for some reason, it was reduced to $250,000. To the charges, Stephen Vincent Chavez pleaded not guilty. He eventually posted bail and walked out of jail, a free man waiting for trial. Meanwhile, Michaela went back home to North Carolina, traumatized but alive. Her family members watched her closely in the following weeks because they were extremely worried about her, and they had a reason to be. But the one thing that the family was able to hold on to was the hope that justice was coming. 5 months later, on December 22nd of 2025, 18-year-old Michaela Renee Settles took her own life. And sure, she was the person behind that decision, but her family members believed that that decision wasn't one that was up to her at all. It was what happened to Michaela that destroyed her from the inside out, little by little, until she couldn't take it anymore. Family members have said that what her own father did to her didn't only take her sunshine away, but it completely shattered her soul. Michaela couldn't comprehend why her father would do this to anyone, let alone to her. She could not make sense of such evil. Because nobody can, because that kind of evil is one that we cannot understand because our minds are not sick and twisted the way that Stephen's is. Michaela couldn't live with it. It happened at her house in North Carolina. When the ambulance got there, they were able to resuscitate her, but 5 days later, on December 28th of 2025, she passed away in the hospital. And do you want to know the most infuriating thing about how this criminal case is playing out? Even though there was a kit done that night back in July and Stephen's DNA was found inside of his own daughter, the DA is telling Michaela's family that they may not have a case because Stephen claims that he doesn't remember what he did, that he doesn't know how his DNA got inside of her. And that because Michaela is no longer here to tell us her side of the story, the case turns into a he said, she said, and he is the only one here left to say anything. I'm pre-filming this video, but Stephen's next court hearing is scheduled for April 21st at 8:30 a.m. at the Ventura County Courthouse. Michaela's cousin has been very active on social media spreading awareness for this and making sure that the people of the public know what they can do to help. But the biggest thing to keep fighting for justice is repeating Michaela's story over and over again and demanding that the DA's office listens so she can get the justice that she deserves. So like I said, I'm going to be tagging her cousin. Go over to her page for more information. And hopefully sooner than later, we can all say that Steven is behind bars where he deserves to be. That is all for me today. Thank you guys for spending time with me today and for listening to Michaela's story. I hope you guys are having the best day. If not, go do something to make it the best day. Make somebody happy, and I will see you in my next video. Massive kiss on the forehead to every single one of you.